with a heart caught up in doubt and worry. I face my life every morning, wanting to shine, but somehow holding back joy and fear, sorrow within my heart. Still I know, even one as small as I can run into someday and find a shining, shimmering, brilliant light flowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. When I'm down and ready to surrender, when times are hard and it seems so dark, just knowing each day that I'm never on my own gives me strength and courage to try harder. Holding hands with my friends standing by my side, swinging arms together we will walk to the shining, shimmering, brilliant light glowing from a path that never ends. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives. Instead of losing hope or fearing what's ahead, let's keep on moving forward with our heads held high, for we are all living in a world that embraces you and me with its love, supported by the prayers of those who care for us. We're never alone in our lives.
Aloha kakahiaka, everybody. Mahalo anui for joining. Hello, Vadam. Thank you so much for joining us today. So today is our Sunday service for the San Diego Church, for the Whittier Rose Hills Church, for the Chula Vista Kosha, and the Mexico Hiromayes. The Hiromayes in Mexico. And so I'm glad you're all able to attend today. So if you go to the YouTube channel, below it, if you click on that, you will have access to the service order. If you have the prayer book, we'll be using both the prayer book and also additional supplemental prayers that are specific, very specific to the San Diego Church as well. So please feel free to go there. Also, if you do have the time, and I will do my best to get it up, I will do my best to get it up for all of you, is I can't remember what it's called. It's called the Google Forms, and I like to call that Google Forms the prayer notebook, like the prayer notebook. For the prayer notebook, so that I can include your names in it. So please, if you do have the time, I've posted the link in there. Oh, I posted the wrong link in there. Hold on. Sorry about that. Let me post the right link in there for all of you as well, so that you can oh, I clicked on the wrong link. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, I found it. Got it. Sorry. I'm going to put this is the link for the Sampai form. I call it the Sampai form. So when you have time, I ask it, if you could please definitely sign into that as well. Without any further ado, I'd like to begin today's Sunday service. どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。一度入れ 4 sincere claps. Prayer of sincere toritsuki. I'm a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikiyami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane. I've come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive toritsugi. Ikiyami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama, thank you. Ichido haire 4 sincere claps. Ichido haire 4 sincere claps. Amatsu nori to Takaman no haran ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sumemi o ya kamu izanagi no mikoto tsukushin no hyugan no tachibana no odo no awagi haran ni misogi harai tamau toki ni aremaseru harai don no okami tachi moro moro no magagoto を罪汚れを払いたまい清めたまえと申すことのよしおは待つ神国津神やおよろずの神たち共にやめの口駒の耳振り立てて聞こしめせとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Honko Daijin sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this day, this very moment. Ikigami Honko Daijin sama, Ikigami Honko Daijin sama, Ikigami Honko Daijin sama, Ikigami Honko Daijin sama.親先生のお手続きをもちまして、歴代金剛様ご拝礼申し上げたてます。教祖池見金剛大臣様ご拝礼申し上げたてます。天地金の大神様ご拝礼申し上げたてますります。広大なる御影ご被りまして、座禅も今朝も時々刻々万事万端に広大なる御影を被りまして、結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてますります。京都神道一道におきましても、座禅も今朝も時々刻々万事万端に広大なる御影を被りまして、結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてますります。天が下内高一道におきましても、日々昼夜万事万端に広大なる御影を被りまして、結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてますります。一道のうちご広大なるお道にお授けくださいまして、結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてますります。本年一道になり変わりまして、ご一礼申し上げたてますります。京都神道一道より天が下内高一道におきました。これまでいかなるご無礼をお粗末をお刻りございましょうとも、何卒お差し許しくださいますよう、御礼申し上げたてますります。親代々よりいかなるご無礼、罪、恵みのございましょうともお差し許しされまして、一道のうちの願い成就、万事万端、都合よく、何卒安心のお見かけ、御礼申し上げたてますります。Please open your prayer books to page 3 for the Kami prayer. Reverently we pray. The brilliance of heaven, the richness of earth, time flows without cease, years pass without end. In heaven and earth is a life that nurtures all. In heaven and earth is a truth that orders all. For this wondrous form, for these wondrous works, let us praise Tenchi Kane no Kami. Let us praise the divine parent of the universe. Kami loves and cares for all humanity, all those who live between heaven and earth, to revere Kami as divine parent, to live in Kami's infinite blessings. This is the way. Yet many, not knowing the way, are lost in greed and selfishness. They suffer the cycle of misfortunes. Great is Kami's sorrow. Our founding father, Honko Daijin, suffered many trials in this world, but held fast to faith and sincerity. He received Kami's great blessing, began the life of mutual fulfillment of Kami and humanity. Humbly we pray. The Divine Parent's great wish was thus fulfilled. Honko Daijin accepted the call to mediation that leads to the mutual benefit of Kami and humanity. By day, he taught the way of faith to all who sought him, expounding the blessings of heaven and earth. And he knew not the coming of night. By night, he prayed for those who grieved, seeking salvation for all who suffered. And he knew not the dawning of day. Though years passed and the world changed, he did not waver from his task, the divine task of mediation. Thus was given the sacred Tenchi Kane, the guiding principle for our daily life. The divine favor was thus renewed and blessings flowed universally, establishing the way of eternal prosperity, the way of mediation of Ikigami Honko Daijin. By this wondrous revelation, we are given knowledge of the way, through all the hardships of this world, through pain of body and soul. The way of mediation teaches us to turn our hearts to Kami, without regard for day or night, whether we are near or far. The way of mediation teaches us to pray with total trust. For living unaware of divine favor, we offer our sincere apologies and pledge to mend our ways. Let us live our faith every day, seeking and rejoicing in your divine favor. Let us care for those in pain and invite them to the way. Let us guide those who are lost and awaken them to a life of purpose. Kami is fulfilled in us. We are fulfilled in Kami. May this way of mutual fulfillment be manifested in this world. May Kami's wish for true peace and the well-being of all people be fulfilled. So we humbly pray. So we earnestly pray. Prayer for grace. Kami-sama, give me grace for this day, not for a lifetime, nor next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. Yes, give me grace just for this day. Direct my work and bless it. Advise me the things I say and give them blessings too. Direct and bless everything that I think, do, and speak, so that for this one day I have the gift of grace that comes from your presence. Kami-sama, just this one day, let me live generously and kindly, in a state of grace and goodness that makes me a little bit like you. Shintoku Kinen silent prayer. Please use this opportunity to offer your heart, love, sincerity, and prayers of apology, appreciation, and petitions to Parent God. ただいま一度広大な領下で葬りまして結構千万ありがたき御礼申し上げたてまつ何卒親先生の中にまいに通りましてお願い申し上げたてまつます。国運発展世界真の平和の御方をお願い申し上げたてまつます。総合事故民の安全万事安心の御影をお願い申し上げたてますます。本教のますます盛大発展の御影をお願い申し上げたてますます。教師本校様におかりましては、日々日々用万事万端にお差し支えなく、ますますご比例の手、お願い申し上げたてますます。玉水親教会歴代法先生の御霊、サンデーブ教会主内の御霊、ますますご比例の手、お願い申し上げたてますます。本部平前大阪教会、道広教会、玉水親教会、当教会をはじめ、各教会とも比例発展の大御影をお願い申し上げたてますます。いや先生におかれましては、病気、病難のございませぬよう、お体ご丈夫、ご寿命上級、日々、日々を万事万端にお使いなく、ご比例をてお願い申し上げたてまつます。この度、国家、民族の争いをはじめ、天災地変にある被災地の復興成就の遅れ合わせ使われされますよう、行方不明の事故におきましては、早かに身元判明をいたしますよう、亡くなりましたる氏子の御霊のお道立て、御霊安心の御神をお願い申し上げたてまつます。司をはじめ、公務員並びに進めの氏子におきましては、日々の役抜け差し支えのございますのよう、一節成就安心の御振り合わせ司われますよう、御願い申し上げてまつます。同業の氏子は天地田畑とも実りよく、風刺の災い、物付きともございませんよう、五穀農場、駆逐に至るまで無事安全一切、成就安心のお振り合わせをお願い申し上げたてまつます。商業の氏子におきましては、商売繁盛、買い場、売り場とも
都合よく差し支えなく、それぞれ思惑成就、安心の送りやすを願い申し上げたてまつります。職業の一部は日々日々を万事万端に差し支えのございますよう、一切安心、成就安心のお願いを申し上げたてまつります。道中や三中働く事故は足の患い、怪我、過ち、報酬にございますよう、安心安心の送りやすお願い申し上げたてまつります。公開に働く事故は発着ととも都合よく、類似、類難、式難部、怪我、過ちなく、空洞、海上、無事安全、一切、安心、成就をお願い申し上げ、安心のクリアスをお願い申し上げたてまつります。業務の事故は怪我、過ちございますので、いずれも大量の大みが業に願い申し上げたてまつります。業務に離れましたる事故は、それぞれ業務をお授けくださいます。一度安心の大みが業に願い申し上げたてまつります。学業の事故におきましては、体上部の相乗り、病気、病難が、怪我、過ちもございますのよ。思想に知のございますのよ。学業成就民のや安全、安心を増やすお願い申し上げたてまつります。この事故は、死の一番安産早くに立ちまして、体の上部たちの愛になりますよう生まれる。こにおきましては、うちの成長、最新義務をお授け、使われますようお願い申し上げたてまつります。これ以外の事故は早かに心をつき配信させていただきまして、一度安心の大みがきをお願い申し上げたてまつります。その他、急病、死病、長病、流行、疫病、傷病、怪我、過ち、難事の事故は早かに病気、併有、全開、体上部、達者、健寿命上級、大みがきをお願い申し上げたてまつります。共同心同一同親代々の御霊、これまでいかなるご無礼罪巡りのございましょうとも、お差し印使われまして、御霊を満ちたで、道一等安心の大みがきをお願い申し上げたてまつります。共同心同一度におきましゃ病気、病魔、不治難、災難、不都合、不幸せのございますのよ。避難、盗難のございますのよ。体上部、達者、家業成就、大変な願い成就、万事万端都合よく、安心の大みがきをお願い申し上げたてまつります。まだ、信心いたしませぬ事故、病気、病難、不治難、災難、不都合、不治や幸せなる事故、または天地のご恩を知りませぬ事故、ともにお引き寄せくださりまして、信心させていただきまして、一度安心の大みがきを願い申します。この上とも、神ながら神かかりを知り導かしていただきます。お願い申し上げたてまつります。教と教心と一におきましては、信心の道は過つことございませぬよ。損なうことございませぬよ。ますます信心を進ましていただきまして、日々いかなる願い事いたしましょうとも、即座に御影をお授けくださりまして、日々をありがたく、素晴らしく、嬉しく、楽しく、万事万端都合よく、何卒安心の大みがきをお願い申し上げたてまつります。歴代金剛様、教祖池見てご大臣様、天地神様、何卒皆々ご引きを届けくださりまして、思いなく御影をお授けくださりますよう、この欄、親先生になり代わりまして、お願い申し上げたてまつります。
ご神号報奨 recitation of 金光大臣 sacred name. ひがみ金光大臣様、ひがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様、生きがみ金光大臣様。Please open your prayer books to page 17 for prayer for peace. Through our divine mediator, to the divine parent of the universe, let us pray. As precious as our own lives are, so are the lives of all. You embrace us with your blessings, wanting to help one another and live together in harmony. Yet, when your wishes are ignored and selfish desires pursued, tears spread across the world. Your heart pains as people suffer, hurt by injustice, poverty, and war. Please accept our apologies as we strive to change our ways, to reflect your love in all we do. The peace of the world starts with peace in our hearts. Please grant us the courage and wisdom to see the goodness in all, to speak words of comfort and hope. Allow our actions to form a peaceful world where each is respected and fulfilled. Through your virtue and guidance, we pray with hearts as one, for all to live in peace and harmony, for all to live as one. Please turn to page 29 for Shintoku Sanji. Aogi matsureba ten takaku. Aogi matsureba ten takaku. Orogami matsureba chi wa atsushi kami no megumi ni ikasaru mi no saiwai zo wa arigataki. Waga ikigami no won取り次ぎ糸紐かくる時のなく天地の神の御守り陶器近きの隔てなし感に尽くしみはよろずよにあまねく道で果てしなく感はからいわくすしくて人の思いず及ばざる我ら今月今日いやび祭りでひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん神の比例を仰ぎ祭らん一度拝礼 4 sincere claps. 日曜拝礼 4 sincere claps.
Handori ke, kawate ke, nishimoto ke, akazawa ke, kongo ke, no tozu, oyayo ta chuga de kara moro-moro no mitama no kami, atsukonde moshigete masu. ありがとうございます。白神家、稲垣家、湯川家、土井家、牧野家、今岡家、ペティツファミリー、ポスケファミリー、ブレンスファミリー、チャップファミリー、ダネスファミリー、高橋家、中尾家、矢田家、渋谷家の坊主、親たちを彼らからもろもろ御霊の神たちに厚込んで申し上げたてますよ。ありがとうございます。宮城家、愛住家、荻野家、スティーツファミリー、奇数家、ペレアファミリー、ポスカファミリー、田代ファミリー、伊藤千尋の家の御霊の神、服部家、半林家、若林家、ニックファミリー、望月家、浅戸家、石川家、谷本家、デイファミリー、スタッフファミリー、シャトルファミリー、ロードファミリー、川崎美佐子の家の御霊の神、ドランファミリー、フィンリーファミリー、野添家、綾良ファミリー、ハンセンファミリー、マーティンファミリー、フランクファミリー、浅野家、ジュリレディファミリー、須藤家、井ノ口家、伊杉家、井戸ファミリー、長島家、デイビスファミリー、オブラインファミリー、デルベイファミリー、高見家、牧野家、園田家、メイファミリー、田中清信の家の御霊の神、田中義雄の家の御霊の神、宮本喜八の家の御霊の神、大本家、西尾家、坂東光弘の家の御霊の神、谷口好美の家の御霊の神、バスタケス家、河野家、飯森家、キャルヴィンファミリー、藤本家、伊藤和子の家の御霊の神、森家、ベルチャーファミリー、カニングファミリー、ヘックファミリー、オーステンファミリー、平田家、アイセックスファミリー、浜川家、モーリスファミリー、中原家、オールファミリー、パスコアファミリー、アシスファミリー、トコノンファミリー、パバラティファミリー、ザハラ家、坂田家、ズーマファミリー、リドルズバーグファミリー、エヴァンズファミリー、川崎家、ホリングフォードファミリー、瀬川家、浦田家、ブラウンファミリー、ナッパファミリー、ジョーファミリー、松井家、松野家、ガーンファミリー、福田家、岡崎家、ロペスファミリー、ゴームズファミリー、トンフェルファミリー、菅原家、横塚家、ギルモアファミリー、ベソファミリー、ディアーズファミリー、フロレスファミリー、ブローネスファミリー、ブイファミリー、デンジェントファミリー、ヘレットファミリー、バクタファミリー、ブラックファミリー、ゴーヤ家、アフソ家、長田家、沖本家、玉井家、岡家、山城家、ダウファミリー、昔家、中川家、宮本家、岩下家、井田家、グリーンハウスファミリー、青野家、山城家、森里家、ハブ家、森本家、小垣家、リードファミリー、クレアファミリー、エディファミリー、ミーファミリー、アットンファミリー、シューパーファミリー、ティーロンファミリー、ワン家のトーツ、ウイヤタジョーカレーから、もろもろ見たもの神たち。はい、ありがとうございます。吉高家、中山家、新山家、西家、石川家、武田家、立野家、小見ます家、井川家、碇家、藤本家、木川家、松本家、佐伯家、田中家、オフェロファミリー、アイビーファミリー、サンチェズファミリー、ランデロスファミリー、ウェルリーファミリー、フォンファミリー、ピンファミリー、大田家、リムファミリー、綾部家、ブラウンファミリー、カウスファミリー、深川家、古谷家、ホーンファミリー、井上家、唐川家、ケンファミリー、ラインファミリー、宮川家、森脇家、中津家、岡崎家、大村家、杉本家、高見家、谷口家、梅本家、村田家、綿家、渡辺家、山本家、山内家、安武家、親父ファミリー、キングファミリー、スペンチャーファミリー、軍事ファミリーの同族、親たち、お金やから、もろもろの御霊の神たち、これから話して申し上げたてますよ。
Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us, each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. 初代王先生霊前廃止 Appreciation Prayer to the Founding Minister of the Konko Church at Tamamizu. 哀れ青雲下は敷ゆかわの牛はいや。哀れ青雲下は敷ゆかわの牛はいや。哀れしのぶも懐かしき、うまし満ちてるみ柱、牛はや。和歌の浦和の清き深きみ心持ちて、神よい病道を尊び、何はへの広き遠きみ思い持ちて、世を我み人を救いて、道のみ光を甘かがし、教えの恵みを国かがし、人の世のもとつ道を極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることわりを、まさやかに教えまつさに示したまいし、大き高きみいさおをとうとみ、祭りいやび祭らくを、めぐしときこし橋とみそなわして、道の行く手をは松日のいやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、照る月のいや広に恵み、たまえとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. よよの親は、我が家の神、我が神と心尽くして、いつき祭らな心尽くして、いつき祭らな尊きみ親の神たちよ、海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい、初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい、隔離をの見えぬ境にましませどもみ慈しみのみ心は写しよに変わらせたまわず、先見たまのまさきく先はえたまいくしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて、志は薪の柱の動きなくなりわりは結ぶつなめのゆるびなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまい、うからやからやわらぎやいて、日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまい、ついに移しよんことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい、みひつくしみよおむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるをかしこみかたじけなみ、利親の恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを、御心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申す。あなくしびのみ親の御霊、あなくしびのみ親の御霊、あなとうとのみ親の神、あなとうとのみ親の神。Please turn to page 19 for the newly departed soul prayer. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence. Yet you remain in our hearts. You will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life and sought to live it fully each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. May you always be blessed with a peaceful heart. Know that you are always embraced by Kami's love. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Recitation of the Tenchi Kane. Please open your prayer books to page 6. Kigami Kongo Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Shin ni Negae. Kigami Kongo Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Shin ni Negae. 影は我が心にあり、影は我が心にあり、今月今日で頼め、今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kane. A través de Kami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Kami Konko Daijin, Oria Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore ahora en este momento. Ore ahora en este momento. Kami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami様。今月今日本当の信心を求めさせてください。今月今日本当の信心を分からせてください。今月今日本当の信心をさせてください。今月今日本当の信心を伝えさせてください。神金光大臣様、天地神々様。亡くなった者たちが心の火力を漏らしたきますよう、御願い申し上げたてまつります。亡き先祖の御霊の徳を進めさせてくださいますよう、お願い申し上げたてまつります。今週も今日も楽しい、素晴らしい、ありがたい、安全、充実な一日を過ごさせてくださいますよう、お願い申し上げたてまつります。今週も今日も恩徳、陰徳、神徳、仁徳、霊徳、財徳、即徳、徳徳をいただかせてください。親に一日も早く安心していただける身の上、立場にどうぞお導きくださいますし、お願い申し上げたてまつります。 一度拝礼 4 sincere claps. Aloha, everybody, and mahalo nui for joining us today. So today is it's been quite a while since we've ever had. This is I think the first Sunday service that we are having here at the San Diego Church. So I do apologize. I know it's we normally would have something, but I think our busy schedule has really stopped that a little bit. But today, we're going to hold our, we will be doing the Shintoku Academy. So for those of you who don't know, Shintoku Academy is very special to me as I'm the sort of the creator of it. I working with Reverend Edna Matsuoka and Reverend Koichi Konko, we started creating a curriculum. It had to be about maybe a little over 10 years ago. And the purpose of this curriculum was we were looking at education, not just education, but spiritual education, practical education for believers. And that's what we were looking at. That's what we were hoping for. That's what we were praying for our members. And so we actually began Shintoku Academy was split into three different levels. And unfortunately, we only got the first level finished. That's when I moved up here, so I was never able to finish the rest of the curriculum. But I'm hoping, hopefully we can do more Sunday services. I can end up finishing the curriculum. Really, everything should be done together. But because right now, the San Diego Church does not have a place a real place to worship in at the moment. Literally at this moment, it's just my apartment. We really do need to depend on. We do really need to depend on what we have at the moment. So today, I'm not sure what the best way to do this for online is. So I'm just gonna do it as the presenter view. Is that the best thing? No, maybe not. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do. So I think the reader view is the best. So for today, we're going to begin. We will do our Shintoku Academy. This is the very first lesson. I had to update this lesson because there have been changes. And so please go ahead, take some notes. Please feel free to take as many notes as you want. I promise you, there's not going to be a test after this. I promise you there's no test. Wait now. Boy, I'm not doing a very good job with this one, aren't I? Here you go. Okay. So hopefully you can see this. And I don't know how to make it any bigger. I do apologize. I'm not sure how to make it any bigger than this. But in the future, I am hoping to I'm trying to learn how to do these things, but I'm not doing a very good job. Okay, so there you go. I don't think I'm doing a very good job. So let's just do that. So hopefully, I'm hoping that you can all see this. So today's is the very first lesson. And this very first lesson, we're going to talk about some of the very basics of Konkokyo. Okay, some of the very basics of Konkokyo. So in terms of basics, it's just things that people ask a lot of questions about. Maybe not the most deep. These are not the most deepest of things, but hopefully it'll help all of you to understand a little bit more and maybe get you comfortable about attending a church. So first of all, we need to start with who are these spiritual leaders? Who are the spiritual leaders of Konkokyo? And they're called kyoshu, or spiritual patriarchs. Some that call them spiritual leaders. We have a term of endearment called Konko-sama. We call them Konko-sama. The very first, of course, is the source of teachings, Konko Daijin. Some people call him the founder. I don't view him as the founder only because I don't think he founded anything, because his his life, really, if you think about it, Konko Daijin, everything kind of evolved naturally. So he didn't find anything. So I don't really call him a founder, but I call him the source of teachings because literally Kyoso means the source of teachings. So Kongo Daijin is our first. And we're not supposed to have any pictures of him. So many people ask, oh, are there any pictures of him? We're not supposed to have any pictures of Kongo Daijin. And the reason for that is because even Kongo Daijin did not want the focus to be on him. He wanted the focus to be on Kami-sama, not on him. So when you tend to have a bust or something of a religious leader, the focus becomes on that person. Well, Kongo Daijin didn't want that. However, there is said to be one or two different pictures of him. But I will never use that because I would like to respect Konko Daijin's request for that. The second Konko-sama is Konko Shijin-sama, or affectionately known as Shijin-sama. And Shijin-sama is Konko Daijin's son. And his reign in Konko-kyo was only for 10 years. Very short time, but very important. He was probably his teachings are incredibly strict teachings, but so important because during his time, he laid the groundwork for people to help others do goyo in different parts of Japan. And from there, during the third Konko-sama's time, the Reverend said Tane Konko. So the third Konko-sama was a minister. It was during his time that Kongo-kyo spread to areas of Asia and the United States. And at its peak, Kongo-kyo was about 1.2, had 1.2 million members there. So unfortunately, we don't have that many as a time. We don't have that power is not there anymore. But Setsutane Sensei, the third Konko-sama, Sandai-sama, is also known as an ikigami or living God because he was just amazing, truly just an amazing person. When you saw Toritsugi with him, you really thought you were speaking to Kami-sama directly. The fourth Konko-sama is the Reverend Kagami Taro Konko. He is a renowned poet in Japan. He's known for his poetry. One of the most amazing things about him. And the fifth, this is just a cartoon drawing of who Konko Daijin would have been. This is the third Konko-sama. If you can see them. This is the fourth Konko-sama. Sorry, PowerPoint put it in this way. And this person walking here is the fifth Konko-sama, the Reverend Heiki Konko. I think Reverend Konko is probably the most well-traveled of all the Konko-samas. He's been to Europe. He's been to different parts of the world. He's even come to America and Hawaii. He also spoke English and German. So he was such an amazing person. My faith really developed under the fifth Konko-sama, the Reverend Heiki Konko. However, you might know that we also have Reverend Konko passed away. And so there is a sixth Konko-sama. His name is the Reverend Hiromichi Konko. He is the eldest son of the fifth Konko-sama. He was formerly a member of the Blue Angels band. You can look it up. It's in there. It's hard to find pictures of the Blue Angels band, but I tried to. I couldn't find any. His wife, Nobuko Sensei, is also a minister. And what makes this unique is until now, none of the wives, and albeit, it doesn't matter. None of the wives of the Konko-samas were ministers, except the sixth Konko-sama. His wife is also a minister. I think that's just really amazing. You couldn't ask for better. Better meaning, she can do the role of a minister. If she has to sit at the okekai, she can sit at the okekai. If she has to minister to people, she can minister to people. But the wives of the various Konko-samas were just as amazing and powerful in their own right. And Nobuko Sensei, I've only gotten to meet her once or twice, is such a sweetheart. But she really and truly represents the Konko family well with our sixth Konko-sama. What's interesting that most people do not know about the Konko-samas, Konko-kyo is a very, very democratic church. Unfortunately, Madam, there are no pictures. There are no pictures of Shin-sama, and I don't know why. But maybe he too tried to hide himself. He did not want his. We don't know, but we don't have any pictures of him. What's interesting is after, I don't know if during the third Konko-sama's time or the fourth Konko-sama's time. I'm going to say it's probably during the fourth Konko-sama's time when we redid our constitution bylaws. But don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. But we actually vote. We're a very democratic religion. We vote on the next kyoshu, the spiritual leader. That is voted on every 5 years. So every 5 years we vote on the next Konko-sama. The qualifications is you must be related to Konko Daijin. That's number one. So you think there'd be a whole slew of people, right? But no, you must also carry the Konko name. You must carry the Konko name. Okay. It doesn't matter if you are male or female. Only head ministers of churches are allowed to vote for this. And even if you are voted the top person that all the ministers want as the head, as Konko-sama, that person has to accept the position. If they don't accept the position, it goes to the next person. The next person has to, they will ask that person, will you accept the position as Konko-sama? So it's a very democratic system, and it's really amazing. And in fact, this happened to be a voting year, and I'm happy to share that. Last year was the voting year, and this Reverend Hiromichi Konko was voted in as the Konko-sama, and he also accepted. So he continues to be our spiritual leader. So let's talk about the altar setting and who do we pray to. I think that's something that everybody would like to know. So typically, if you look here at the middle altar is dedicated to Ikigami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami. It's dedicated to Ikigami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami. There's only one church that also has their founding minister honored in here. There's only one church in all of Konkokyo, and that is the Osaka church. And the reason for that is because Konko Daijin said, because Shirakami Sensei, who spread this faith in the Osaka region, Kansai region, he worked he just was doing goyo night and day because he was saved and he was so passionate about this faith. He didn't even think about his health. Same thing as Konko Daijin. Konko Daijin never thought about his health. That was the last thing on his mind. Everybody else was more important. And Shirakami Sensei was the same way. And he died too early. He wore out his body and died. And Konko Daijin said, you Shirakami Sensei, you Shirakami are a kami. So this is why at the Osaka church, Shirakami Sensei is honored here at the main altar. Now, typically at most 99% of all Konkokyo churches, maybe 98%, the altar for the deceased is typically on the left-hand side. It's typically on the left-hand side here. So we also pray to those who have passed away. And it's not just members of the church. If in my, when I read out the last names of the people on the Mitama side, when I did the Mitama Yobidashi, there are names of people in there who are not Konkokyo believers. There are people who are associated with my Ohana, people who are Buddhist, people who are Christian or Catholic. We're not converting them unless you ask for that conversion. Unless you ask for that conversion, we don't convert anyone, but we honor them. We remember them because Konko Daijin taught us that eternity for human beings is important. Eternity is when others pray for you and remember you after you pass away. So Konko Daijin taught us what everlasting life is. But at the same time, he taught us what everlasting death is. And that's when we forget about people. And this is why it's so important to me to read off the last names, to read off the names of believers. But there are a few churches where this altar is on this side. They exist. One of those churches is the Konko Church of Rokujoin. Another church is the Konko Church of Airaku. And one more church is the Konko Church of Ueki. they have, and then here at the Chula Vista Kosha, we have it on this side as well. There are reasons for it, but I'm not going to get into that. That's for a whole nother story. But some churches will also have a separate altar. If you see here, they will have a separate altar for Konko Sama, honoring and remembering. And this here is a reminder that Konko Sama, it sits at the Okekkai. This is the Okekkai, or the mediation seat right here. So this is where Konko Sama is part of. That you never forget that Konko Sama is here, is there. It's a reminder. And we also, this is where we can seek Toritsuki with Konko Sama. So it's a reminder, very important reminder. But some churches have this, some churches don't. Please know that not all churches are the same. So, for example, this is my home altar in Hawaii. No, it's a little different. I don't have the twigs that people say are absolutely necessary. I don't believe that they're absolutely necessary. Here is the Tokyo church. No, it's very white. It's made of marble from Italy. It's only one altar. Reverend Hata believed that, because the universe encompasses even the mitama, that everything should be in one altar. I cannot recall. I do know this is the Kongo Church of Kizu right here. Again, they are just one altar. There are a number of churches that are only have one altar, and other churches who insist on having two. Okay. Notice here at this church, they do not have an altar setting for with Kongo, and that's not a bad thing. Every church is different. Not all churches are the same. And you'll see also, they don't have the otobira, the doors. This one is covering the doors. And there are many churches that still have the doors. And I'm very grateful to have the doors. My parent church has the doors, or we call the otobira to the altars. Again, when we say that not all churches are the same, you have churches that look very traditional, very modern, whole places that look like homes, and places look like a spaceship. The Setsu Church is one of those. In fact, they got their idea from the Konko Church of Fukuoka Takamiya. So if you type that in Fukuoka Takamiya Konko Kyo, you'll see that church has a very, very round. It's a very interesting church. But again, not all churches are the same. In fact, the Urayasu mission is in an apartment. The Konko Church of Yokohama West is in just a regular house. Just a regular house. That's it. It's a regular house with a garage and everything. Regular house. So again, churches come in all different sizes and shapes. They're not all the same. So if you're looking and thinking, oh my gosh, this is not a church. Well, it most likely is. It's just you're just not what you're expecting. People have asked, do we have to pay a membership fee? There's no such thing as a membership fee. To be part of Konko Kyo, there's no such thing as a membership fee to be a part of a church. There's no fee for receiving toritsugi. There's no fee for you being prayed over or having prayers done for you. And when it comes to offerings, this is one of the hardest things when people ask me, oh, what are the offerings? How much should I offer? Offerings are about your heart. Really, they're all about your heart. Unfortunately, sorry. I'm so sorry. I have my thing on. That's personal. They're not supposed to get through. Sorry, but I'm so sorry about that. If a church has different organizations, like a believers organization or women's group or young adults group, they might have a little fee. If I'm correct, I forgot which church it was, 100 yen or less than 50 cent fee for, I think, their children's or youth group. That's all it was. But it ranges. Every church is different. They may have a fee, they may not have a fee. The Honolulu church has a volunteer donation fee of, I think it was just $10 for their Believers Association. And by the way, if you have any questions, once this is all over, write your questions down, and I will do my best to respond to those questions after all of this is over. Let's talk about offerings to the church, because you've seen our churches. We know we have tons of offerings, all different kinds of offerings. So when you're giving offerings to a church, they come in different shapes and sizes. Monetary, they can be food items. It can be in the form of service or goyo, plants or flowers. Reverend Suenaga, when he first went to Brazil to take over the Congo Church at Birigui, said that believers did not have the concept of offering doing monetary offerings. Very few people did that. And so his believers were farmers. So much like, and he felt like he was living in Kyoso-sama's or Konko Daijin's time, because the offering, they would get all these like offerings of food and fruits and vegetables and meats, and it wasn't until, and so they had to be monetarily supported by their parent, by his parent church, was the Koko Church of Airaku, until they had an anniversary service. And when members saw, they're giving monetary offerings, we didn't know we could do that. Then they started doing, they were starting to do monetary offerings here at the San Diego church, and even at the Whittier Rose Hills church. People will offer, oh my gosh, I always offer, this is the worst thing, I will be honest with all of you. One of our believers offers a seedless tangerine. And I'm like, Kami-sama, I'm so jealous. Literally, I say this to Kami-sama, I'm so jealous. She's offering to you this first. This tangerine is so sweet, but this member, as long as it keeps budding and growing in her yard, she offers it. She will offer it during every single service. I'm so grateful to that. There was another member, I can't remember who it was, but they would do flowers for the church. And so, it comes from the heart. It all comes from the heart, what it is that you want to give, not to the church. This is not to the church. It's to Kami-sama. This is to Kami-sama or your ancestors. It has nothing to do with church. It has nothing to do with the minister. It's to do with Kami-sama. So it's got to come from your heart of sincerity. Please never give out of obligation. Don't think, I got to do this. I got to give. I remember a member in San Francisco once said, I was sitting at the Okekai, and he said, I don't know why I have to give $100 for just a few grains of rice, which is the goshinmai he's talking about. And I was shocked. That he had said something like this. When you're no one's obligated to do that. Nobody is obligated to do that. So please do not give out of obligation. Do it because you have to. When I perform services for other people, they always ask me, well, how much are your services? I say, I'm so sorry, I cannot tell you that because I would do it for free. I don't have a problem doing it for free. I can never, ever, ever tell you that. Never. It's weird because people are not used to that. They're used to a price. There is a church. There might be a few churches that do that, and they do that because they have been used and abused. And so it makes sense. But as long as I'm the head minister and doing goyo here in San Diego and for Whittier and Mexico, I will never tell people how much. It really has. I would prefer something from the heart than something that's like, I have to pay you. Because I think that's what Kami-sama would prefer. Please know that once the offerings are received by Kami-sama or the Mitama-sama, the minister will make the decision on how it's used or how it's divided or how it's spread out. I know at the, if I'm correct, the Honolulu church does this because they have a lot of offerings. They actually donate offerings to the food bank. Sensei uses it for his own living. The offerings here, I will be honest, when we were at the Verli Court Hiromai, I wanted everyone to receive it. We would distribute it among believers. I would send it. I would even deliver it to other places. I had one of the members deliver to people up north. So I'm really grateful that we were able to do that. But because now we're here at the Chula Vista Kosha until we can return to the Hiromaya in Burley Court, I've become very strict on myself, where I will only eat what is offered here. But I do, like, if I'm crazy and I also like too much, I do share it. I do send it out. So please know, it's the minister, the head minister, who makes the decision on how the offerings are used. So you can do it at your own home offering altar as well, or at graves, right? You can do it. It comes in the form of food, cleaning of the goyo or service, or plants and flowers. You know, if you want to offer money to your ancestors, do my best. Have a jolly holiday. But remember, it has to come from your heart. It shouldn't be, oh my God, it's an anniversary date, I have to do this. No, it should come from the heart. It really has to come from the heart. You know, I have a lot of ohana who passed away, and when I think about them, I sometimes I'll be at a shop and I'll think, oh my gosh, I want to get this for my aunt. I think my aunt would love this, and I would buy it and I would bring it to the altar. I don't eat it first at all. It goes straight to the altar. It goes straight to the altar. I do not put it. It does not go in my mouth. It goes straight to the altar because I want my ohana to be happy. I want them to enjoy it. You know, I think about those things all the time. And again, do not give out of obligation. If you look at these altars come in all different shapes and sizes. This particular altar here is from a believer who lives in Ciudad Mexico, or Mexico City. These are from Japan. Some people have whole rooms dedicated to their altar. This is a Chula Vista Kosha. It's actually now bigger than this. Wait, is it? Yeah, this is pre the extra section there. But this is the altar setting for the Chula Vista Kosha. But again, please, if you're going to give out of your heart. So the heart of the church, if you can see in this area here, there's a desk. If you see here, there is a desk. I know it's kind of hard to see. I'm so sorry. And if you see here, there is a desk here. This is known as the okekkai, or the seat of toritsugi, or seat of mediation, if you want to call it. And what this symbolizes is a number of things. You will see that it sits here at the edge, where if you look at this area of the altar, okay, you see this altar area here, and then you see all these seats here. You see it's sort of divided. This is the world of kami, or kamiyo. This area here where the parishioners sit is the human world, or ninyo. And the okekkai joins the world of humanity and the world of the divine together. It joins it. It brings it together. And this is where you get to offer your heart, your sorrows, your pains, your joys, your accomplishments, your requests, your apologies, your appreciation. You get to offer all of that at the okekkai. This drawing here was by Konko Daijin. And what it's to represent, he said that all the suffering of the world come in here. That the okekkai is a place where it should be the dirtiest part of the Hiromai, the dirtiest part of the church, spiritually the dirtiest, because this is where you can get all your spiritual junk out and into, and so that the minister can help you to carry your load. We will have another Shintoku Academy workshop later on about toritsugi. But please know, when you visit your church, you don't have to come dressed like all in a shirt and tie. I used to go in my work clothes. I know people who go from work in their work uniforms to church and then go home. Students will go in there. In Japan, students go up to Konko-sama or their home church in their safe or school uniform. There are people who drive trucks and everything. They work for companies, and that's how they dress. They go to church. because you should not have to dress differently for kami-sama. You, as you are going before kami-sama, you're not trying to go like, oh, I have to dress special for kami-sama. Kami-sama wants a relationship with you. Why? So to have this relationship, why do you have to dress up so special? Right? But we'll talk about those things in future Shintoku Academy. We'll talk definitely. But please keep in mind that the Okeka is such a special place. And and we'll talk more about that. I have to watch the time. I have to make sure I'm on time. So in terms of services and ceremonies, these are the services and ceremonies we have here at the San Diego and Whittier Rose Hills Church. Not all churches will have these. However, most churches will definitely have a New Year's ceremony, a monthly ceremony. They will do the spring and autumn grand memorial. They don't call it grand memorial. I call it, but they call it the spring and autumn memorial services. They will have the spring grand ceremony, a fall grand ceremony, mid-year appreciation or mid-year purification appreciation, end of year ceremony. And so they'll have most of those services, but we here in San Diego have just a little bit more than normal. Just a little bit more than normal. We do. But again, all churches are different. My parent church has a whole lot more than we do here. But that's them. Oops, I'm not sure why that's. Oh, I'm not sure why it's not moving. Okay, here we go. So I ask you, what did you learn today? If you can go in, when you go into the Sampai form, I encourage you that on the very bottom, it's going to say, what did you learn today? Maybe you knew a whole bunch of these things, but did you learn something new? Please share that with me when you go into the Sampai form. I really look forward to it. At this time, I'm more than... I'm open to, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to respond to any of those questions. Please feel free to jot them in and I'll try to answer them. But as you do that, please note our ceremony dates for April. Today is the April 29th it's a Wednesday, will be the Chula Vista Kosha's monthly ceremony. May 1st will be the May 1st Appreciation Prayer Service. May 10th is the San Diego Whittier Rose Hills, Mexico Tenchi Kane Grand Ceremony. May 17th is the May Memorial Service. May 27th is the Chula Vista Kosha's monthly ceremony. May 30th is the third Konkokyo Mexico gathering in Tijuana, Mexico. And on August 12th, please jot that date down. I encourage you to jot that date down. That is the 100th anniversary when Konkokyo wasn't brought here. I don't want to say brought here, but when Goyo began here, when the light of Konkokyo began to glow here in North America. And 3 days later, it'll be in Hawaii. Oh, that's a really wonderful question. We just call it a kanban. A kanban. There's no real name for it. It's just like a kanban for the church. That's all it is. It's very simple. So if any of you, would like to receive our emails or anything, please feel free. Maybe in the Sampai form, just put in your email. If any of you would like to receive our email so that you can get notifications of when our services are, please leave that email. Please leave your email in there. I'll be more than happy to include you in that. But that's today's Shintoku Academy. The next Shintoku Academy, what I'm going to do, my goal is to really create a series of Shintoku Academy videos. So I might redo this, trying to figure out how this works, but try to record something and upload it so all of you will have access to it. And my goal is, because a lot of people are not able to receive different forms of education, I want to create these various educational videos so that you have knowledge about Konkokyo as well. And today's one is just simple information. Simple information, hopefully that will help. The next one will focus on, I'm looking at Toritsugi, but I know that's a whole lot. So I have to look back at the curriculum and see how I can break things out and everything. But I do look forward to all of you joining us. Definitely, I do look forward joining us for our next service, which is the Chula Vista Kosha's, which is here, monthly ceremony. But until then, please take care. Please stay safe. Ahui ho and ma lama pona. Please don't forget to do the. I ask you to please do the. Sampai form in the Google forums. Here, I just included the link once more. So thank you very much, everybody. Please take care. Please stay safe. And Vladimir, thank you for waking up so early and to attend and to join us. Have a wonderful day. Ahui ho.